Hey peeps, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you how to achieve this beautiful dramatic blue sunset eyes. I went ahead and started off with my sheer cover primer all over my face, and then using my LA Girl Pro Concealer, placing it all over my eyelids, setting it with my flat brush, making sure that I create a perfect canvas for my eyeshadows. And I went ahead and set it with another powder, and this is from BH Cosmetics Carli Bybel palette. Using all three of those mauve colors, I'm building up my crease. I'm not going to go slow-mo on those because you guys know how it works. And then I'm using my burnt orange from BH Cosmetics Mattes palette to really intensify that crease. And then using the Vivid palette from Milani and using a flat brush, I sprayed it down so that the powder actually sticks to the brush, and carefully placing it all over my eyelid up to the crease. I am going to use a blending brush to blend out the blue and the orange. That way there's no harsh lines. However, sometimes working with the mattes, you do end up taking some of the product. So I had to go back and add the orange and add some more blue after I did blend all those two colors together. Moving on to my eyebrows, I do have an eyebrow tutorial for you guys, so I'm not going to stay too long on this. I'm just outlining my eyebrows, and for more dramatic looks, I do end up using a little bit more product. Therefore, my eyes look a little bit more dramatic, almost clowny, so to speak. But whenever I go for a more natural look, I do end up using a little bit less product, so it's a little bit lighter. And then using the spoolie, I'm blending out my eyebrow product just so it doesn't look too harsh. And now this is a good time to use a wipe, which I have plenty around my house, to clean out any excess powder. That way it doesn't mix with the foundation and look green under your eyes. And this is also a good way for you to clean up the eyeshadow on the sides, making sure that doesn't extend any further than you want it to. And then using my Almay black liquid liner. This is one of my go-to liners that I usually use. Because it goes on very liquid and then it dries matte and it stays on all day. I'm creating a very nice dramatic winged liner. And then using that tapered brush again, I am adding my burnt orange from BH Cosmetics Mattes palette, just so my eyes stand out a little bit more. And then of course placing my concealer around my eyebrows and under my eyes to make sure that my eyes pop. And I'm using the sample of Chanel makeup. I actually bought the luminous finish, and I'm trying out a few other mattes and velvet finishes to see which one I really prefer a lot better. So just wanted to try that one out. So I went ahead and placed that foundation onto my skin, blended it with a beauty blender, and now I'm outlining my face with Wet n Wild contour stick. I like this brown because it's more cool and it's not too orange, it's not too muddy. So I'm putting it around my nose, blending it with my Technique brush from Mikasa Beauty. I do have a coupon code for you guys if you're interested in checking them out and seeing if you wanted to order some brushes from their website. I did create a little bit more dramatic under cheek line because my face actually tends to be more of a round to square face. So sometimes for dramatic looks, I do want it to look a little bit more square. The only thing is you do want to make sure that it's blended out very nicely because it can end up looking pretty muddy and look like a mess. And then I'm using my CoverGirl concealer, again outlining the dark areas. I know most people kind of do vice versa. But you know, you can do whatever works for you, and this is something that worked for me. I'm placing it under on my chin, on my forehead, and again under my cheekbone, just outlining that dark area to make sure it's cleaned up and it doesn't look muddy. And then of course I am going to place it under my eye as well and blend it out with my beauty blender, and this is from again Mikasa Beauty. This is called a Lemon Drop. I'm usually a fan of Real Techniques beauty blender because it's very soft, but I've received this one with the purchase of my brushes and I really like it. It's a very soft sponge. I usually drench my sponge and then wrap it in a towel and draw out the excess water so it's not too wet, but you do still get a really nice moist beauty blender and the product doesn't soak in to the sponge too much. So you kind of end up with a good amount of product on your face and it blends in very nicely. Then moving on to my bronzer, I'm going to go ahead and set all my dark areas. This is the Butter Bronze, I always mispronounce this, Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. Again, love this bronzer, definitely would recommend it. Definitely would be a repeat buy. So I'm outlining my nose, doing a little bit of my forehead, and again, my cheekbone, making sure that that dark line has been set and blended out very nicely. And then I'm going to move in with my Maybelline setting powder using a tapered brush, and I'm going to go ahead and bake. So again, under my eyes, on my chin, a little bit on the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, and under my cheekbones. And while I am doing that, I am going to go ahead and place my eyelashes. This is from Eylure, I believe. I do have a harder time to place eyelashes on my eyes because I don't wear them usually. But when I do, I kind of do them off the camera because my eyes are a little bit smaller. And believe it or not, I actually have to hold both of the ends together on both sides with both of the hands to make sure that they glue on and they don't end up being glued on in like a straight line. So that's kind of my challenge with a thicker band eyelash. Strip lash. So I'm going to go ahead and use my fluffy brush to get the excess powder off after it baked for a couple of minutes, blending all of that out, and then using my BH Cosmetics blush palette. Can you tell I'm kind of a fan of BH Cosmetics? And then using the golden and the bronzy highlighter from the Carli Bybel palette, putting it onto my cheekbones, on the bridge of my nose, a little bit on the tip of my nose, my tear duct, and then a little bit above my lip and my brow bone, just so that I glow. And then to end this look, I'm using Burberry City Pink lip gloss, just a little bit, so my lips are moisturized and gives me that little nice pink hue. But this is it. This is my dramatic look, kind of a blue sunset look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like this video if you've enjoyed this tutorial, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so. But as always, create culture and be you, and I will see you guys next time in my next video.